All right, today we're diving into a pretty startling investigation, one that uncovers a whole system of modern-day slavery that's hiding in plain sight in the Indian state of Meghalaya. It's a tough subject, for sure, but it's one we've really got to get our heads around.
So, this quote, it comes straight from the investigation. And wow, what a question. It just cuts right to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage for everything we're about to unpack.
So that really is the central question, isn't it? Is this slavery? To figure that out, we can't just guess. We've got to follow the evidence. So let's break this whole thing down step by step and see where the facts take us. Okay, first things first, let's get our bearings. We're talking about Meghalaya, a state in northeast India. And here's the thing. On paper, they officially got rid of this kind of forced labor ages ago. And that's where you find this huge, shocking disconnect. The investigation shows that, yeah, sure, traditional slavery was abolished more than 100 years ago, but something else, a sort of modern, hidden version, has crept in to take its place, and it's trapping thousands. And look, this isn't just happening in one random industry. The investigation found a clear pattern. It's happening on construction sites, in domestic work, at brick kilns, and in quarries, all sectors that often depend on some of the most vulnerable people out there. So you gotta ask, how does this actually work? To get any closer to answering our big question, we have to look under the hood at the mechanics of it all. I mean, how on earth does a job become a prison built out of debt? Okay, so the official term for this is bonded labor, and it's pretty specific. It's a system where debt is basically used as a weapon. Someone gets a loan, or maybe just an advance on their pay, and suddenly they're forced to work to pay it back, losing their freedom along the way. And this is the playbook. This is how the trap is set. It can start with something that seems harmless, like an advance payment. But then the wages stop coming, or they're not fully paid. The debt just balloons, and before you know it, that worker can't even leave. It's a carefully designed system of entrapment. Take a look at this. It's like an investigator's case file, and it lays out the evidence trail so clearly. You ask the same questions across these different jobs, and the answers are just chillingly the same. Can they leave? Nope. Are they getting paid on time? Nope. Is there a debt hanging over them? Yep. That's no coincidence. That's a pattern, a system of exploitation. All right, now here's the part that's just infuriating. There are actual laws on the books designed to stop this exact thing from ever happening. And this is it, the big one, the Bonded Labor System Abolition Act, passed all the way back in 1976. So we're talking decades. This law is supposed to be an ironclad guarantee, a shield protecting these workers. And this just shows you the massive gap, right? On one hand, you've got the law. It's crystal clear it's supposed to protect people. And on the other hand, you've got the reality on the ground in Meghalaya. Workers who are trapped, who aren't being paid, who can't leave. The law's there in a book, but it's not making a difference in their lives. So that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If the law is so clear, why is this still going on? Why isn't anyone being protected? Well, the investigation points to a total systemic failure. The very institutions that are supposed to enforce the law, they're just not working. These government vigilance committees, they're called toothless. If a worker is rescued, there's no system to help them get back on their feet. The employers, they almost never get prosecuted. And maybe worst of all, the government often just pretends the problem doesn't even exist. But it's not all doom and gloom. The investigation doesn't just point out what's wrong. It actually lays out a real, concrete strategy for how to fight back and get justice for these hidden workers. And here it is, the action plan they propose. It's a 5-step roadmap, and it's pretty smart. You start small by documenting specific cases and filing official complaints. But from there, it scales up, helping workers get legal aid, pushing for major systemic reform through the courts, and finally, launching a big public campaign to just pull this whole issue out into the light where no one can ignore it anymore. And this last quote really just says it all. It's the ultimate indictment. The problem isn't that this is invisible. The problem is that the people in power are just pretending not to see it. And that brings us right back to where we started. You've seen how the system works. You've seen the evidence, the control, the fact that people can't just leave. You've seen how the law is failing them. So I'll ask you again, what do you call it?